that like button. Tune on in. Check in. I was going to do a chill out screen. I might do that right in a minute from now. But meanwhile, let's check out what the Department of Justice, that's what the DOJ stands for, charges of 98 Somalians and individuals in Minnesota on that Medicaid fraud charges, EBT fraud charges. Let's just get a little glimpse at it right now. So hit that like button. Tune on in. Check a brother out. Let me find my news clipping. Is this it? Oh no, the breaking news clip. I don't know where it is. Oh, it's right here. Let's get this thing started. And I'm a little rusty, so let's check out this first, and then I'll find the rest of the clips. Check this out.
This is an unprecedented effort. We've never done anything on this scale before with provider revalidations, but the people of Minnesota deserve this level of effort.
The state now taking more steps to crack down on widespread Medicaid fraud. Starting soon, state workers will make surprise visits to nearly 6,000 providers to make sure they're doing what they say they're doing with taxpayer money.
Fox 9's Mike Manzoni joining us now from the newsroom tonight to explain. So, Mike, the state says it will need a lot of help to get this done.
Yes, Simone and Randy, the plan now is to temporarily transfer staffers from other agencies to do it. The state says it already does unannounced visits, but really nothing at this scale. The Department of Human Services will zero in on Medicaid providers across 13 programs it calls high risk. You see them there on the screen.
Look at all those programs. Look at all those programs. Adult companion services, adult day services, adult rehab, mental health services, all that stuff. Community first, early intensive services, individual home support services, and the rest is crazy too. Look at 8. And man, they also have the services that I be doing. Peer recovery support number 12, intensive residential night supervision. See, a lot of these programs been around anyway. And the majority of them is in a lot of these blue states. And the crackdown on Medicaid program. See, so look at all these services. Let's listen to what the rest of what they're talking about.
The goal is to revalidate the providers in these programs. Essentially, that means verifying that they're actually doing what they say they're doing with the tax dollars they receive. DHS is reaching out now to 40,000 state workers for help. It needs 168 staffers to help with the unannounced visits. Training for that starts this month, and after that, they'll start visiting more than 5,800 providers.
Minnesota didn't just lose money, we lost the confidence that the money we're spending is going to our neighbors and loved ones for life-saving and life-enhancing medical care. This is a watershed moment, like I said, for the department and how we're doing business and preventing fraud. We need to identify the highest risk services and make sure that we're doing the work there first, intervening as.
So as a lot of y'all may not know, see, some of them is already having they already having hearings on this. And this is what they was having a hearing on 6 hours ago. So let me see if I can find that clip real quick. Yeah, 6 hours ago they was having a hearing on a whole lot of things with these matters, right on the crackdown. And the first hearing, and that was fair use on Fox 9, but here's the fair use for News Nation. And I'm going to show you another angle of the hearing. And I mean, it went close to 2 hours. So let's check out this. Ready?
Child welfare fraud plunders our.
And it's
every dollar stolen is a meal not eaten, a doctor's visit missed, and a future diminished. Child welfare fraud plunders our children's potential and erodes our nation's future. And disturbingly, at the start of this new year, America has learned that this kind of looting was not occurring
They
in some
calling it
distant or
looting.
lawless place, but in the heart of America's Midwest. Federal prosecutors in Minnesota now estimate that half or more of the $18 billion spent since 2018 across 14 Minnesota welfare programs
Yep.
may have been lost to fraud. If confirmed,
See, this is an actual hearing that they have. Hearing. So this basically was really, really triggered. Imagine if you would have had like 24 nicks out of our 50 states. Let's just say, and well, we know how the election went. Practically everything that turned blue, but still it's a lot of blue states, like Pennsylvania and New York and some of these states. Imagine if Nick Fury would have just had a whole lot of these states to really visit. And I mean, this was triggered by him just doing some simple YouTubing across these states. And this is where it started from. Now I'm gonna give y'all a glimpse. This guy right here. And then mind you, I'm on my 19th year working in about.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building.
Potentially the largest fraud scandal in U.S. history is taking place in Minnesota, as literally billions of dollars have been funneled through Somali-ran fraudulent businesses. So much fraud, it could actually almost replace the entire GDP of Somalia. These fraudsters have worked hand in hand with the Minnesota government as they enabled billions of dollars to be given to fraudulent businesses underneath welfare purposes. Some of this money eventually landed in the hands of terrorist groups in Somalia like the Al-Shabaab, and others enriched themselves all at the US taxpayers' expense. And in this video we will break down all of the fraud from start to finish, from going to the fraudulent businesses and confronting the people who are making millions of dollars from the government. And we will also be confronting the incompetent government leaders who let this fraud happen. And to make,
and I mean, like, wow, this brother is in the hallway, see, of city halls and officials and stuff, where, you know, who a picture is that on the wall, man? So, you know, just welcome to the show. Hit that like button if you have came this far, and man, this is the guy and some of the other individuals that helped to expose this. Imagine if it's going on in this blue state. From alleged legal immigrants running Medicaid, and our boy Dennis Burden is speaking on the behalf of our folks that you gotta know this too. A lot of black men, even the black man that y'all would least suspect that's out there gangbanging, hustling, or is apparently was looking at like, how in the hell is I'm gonna get a job if our borders just completely just always staying open? And here's the guy that exposed that these are the kind of things that is happening.
make this happen, I met up with a man who's been doing his own investigation for years now, as he has seen the fraud firsthand. His name is David. Let's get into this and be prepared to be shocked. How deep is this fraud here inside of Minnesota?
It is far worse than anybody can imagine.
So
You
feel
heard
free to go over
it's
here and
7 to
check
10
out this
billion and
video.
maybe more, and now the numbers have been revised and put out there publicly that they think.
So go over here and check out that channel. This is how the channel looks. Right here, Nick Shirley. That's an interesting name. Nick Shirley. That's where his page is. So go over there and check it out, and fair use. I can't play everything up on it, but now we finna get at this other part that a lot of people haven't been really talking about. And I may do that video after I finish this one. This is the look how much. If we was after these hearings that they finna have, I'm gonna show another part of that hearing. Have anybody heard anything about these folks? Doge. See? Doge is still around. Okay? Let's see how much that the Americans would have had. Look at the number. Amount saved per taxpayer. I don't know if they've even put in. They found so much billions. When you remember, estimated savings, 215 billion. Imagine what we just got finished looking at with all of those billions being added to this. Nine of that billion being added to this. Let me find that part of that video. Give me a minute. So we can look at the numbers. Yeah, I'm finding them. Now it's coming up the billions. Imagine, because when I was talking about the billions, 18 billion. See, 18 billion. Think about it. That's a lot of money. Because man, we will have a nice check from just what they found so far, Doge. But now the number that we saw earlier, I believe is close to the amount that Doge have. So I want to find that. Give me a moment. Let me see. There. Here it is. Here it is. And then just think that they've been having programs, 1.2 something million. And then we didn't see no kids. We didn't see no elders. It ain't so much that we didn't see no kids. What about the elder program? And then a lot of us will say, well, why didn't they check those places? So, and this is the part I was looking for. Now you see we got the Doge thing right up here, right? Estimated savings. Now, is this the savings? Let's see. If this here is a savings. Let me take that out. Let's see if this is a savings. Think about it. Is this a savings? Wow. Is that a savings? Estimated stolen by scammers. 9 billion. 9 billion stolen by scammers. If that go over there, that make that numbers move a little bit. So just a little bit. And then no one's not talking about the things that, this all is happening because of the individuals that was doing this. right here. See? They was putting it down. And then we got to look at the other savings that they was doing. They was like, do they have Minnesota in here? See, look, Department of Treasury. But they checked our stuff. See? These big programs, these federal programs, housing programs, look at that. So still go over there and check that out. No one's not talking about that much. Is because why? Because Elon has stepped down. SpaceX is probably going to make a big move. And, let's get back to the rest of this program, because I do believe I put food stamp fraud right up in there. And we're going to see. Is there some more? Fraud of some sort. So here's something from 3 weeks ago. I knew some more stuff was coming. 3 weeks ago, this is what happened. 7 hours ago, 3 weeks ago. One month ago. All right, y'all. Now we're going to look at this part. Let's get back to what that News Nation was talking about.
The most vulnerable children, every dollar stolen is a meal not eaten, a doctor's visit missed, and a future diminished. Child welfare fraud plunders our children's potential and erodes our nation's future. And disturbingly, at the start of this new year, America has learned that this kind of looting was not occurring in some distant or lawless place, but in the heart of America's Midwest. Federal prosecutors in Minnesota now estimate that half or more of the $18 billion spent since 2018 across 14 Minnesota welfare programs may have been lost to fraud. If confirmed, the amount stolen would rank among the largest welfare frauds in American history. In Minnesota, a welfare system designed to uplift the most vulnerable children was treated like an open ATM, exploiting both taxpayers and the public trust extended to immigrant communities. Over the last decade, Minnesota Democrats didn't just fail to stop the fraud. They made it easy and profitable.
Wow.
And in a totally lawless fashion, silenced anyone who pointed it out. Taken together, the record shows that the fraud was not accidental or unforeseeable, but was the product of deliberate inaction, willful blindness, and calculated abuse.
Wow. Calculated abuse. This is what we're talking about. Fair use on that part, but now I got one earlier. Let's look at someone that's going to show it to us in a legal standpoint. And we're going to go check out Judge Joe Brown.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Injustice for All. And we are going to be talking about Minnesota. A white American citizen woman was shot and killed by ICE agent on Wednesday, January the 7th. Minnesota now has massive protests going on because she
where these programs, American sending money back to Somalia, the money going back to Somalia could potentially have fallen into the hands of Al-Shabaab, the Al-Qaeda affiliates in Somalia. Absolute crazy stuff. And the funny thing is, I don't even think it's just Minnesota. I think we just found out about it in Minnesota. I think it's happening in other states too, and it may not just be the Somalian community, but other parts of the country where these programs, American people are just being defrauded.
Damn.
You know, the bigger thing is we gotta up here.
Think about it.
You know, we gotta put real teeth into these.
And the cost of living is this high?
Put money into a lot of these programs. There need to be hard audit requirements, eligibility requirements. Obviously, there's criminal charges.
I've been saying that for the longest.
If you have elected officials who know about this stuff, and we find out they know, they need to be brought up on conspiracy charges because they're defrauding the American taxpayer too.
See, they need to train me. See, I would have stayed downtown, but I could see where it was leading to. Like, if I would have pressed it, they would allow me to do a little auditing, but it wouldn't have been the type of auditing and thing that the American people will think. It would have been more of me, since I work for, the mental health system. It would have been more of me doing oversight or overseeing. Not so much looking in the paperwork in the books, because I work for the county mental health system. So let's hear some more. Man.
Thing I know about this town, there's always a new day and a new crazy here in Washington. I think that's why people are more frustrated than anything else, because there's no common sense here. And when you try to bring it and put into these bills, the Democrats don't want to hear it. The only time they ever want to talk about accountability is when it favors them politically. And that's really upsetting. Anyway, till next time.
Mr. Balu, again, thank you for being here. Let me ask you, does large-scale Somali immigration make Minnesota stronger or weaker?
Certainly stronger.
Certainly stronger. Do you know what percentage of Somali-headed households in Minnesota are on food stamps?
No.
54%. Do you know what that number is for native Minnesota-headed households?
Well, to be clear, a majority of the...
It's 7%. There's a big difference between 54% and 7%, is there not?
Excuse me, sir, could I answer the question?
Let me move on. We've got a lot of questions here. What percentage of Somali-headed households in Minnesota are on Medicaid?
I don't know.
It's 73%. Do you know what that number is for Minnesota native households?
Again, you're using the phrase Minnesota native households, but the majority...
The number is 18%. That's quite an astounding difference. I think we would...
Ooh, wait. Boy, they be trying to be slick. They be trying to put some stuff. Ooh, wait. They be at a hearing, and then it's like all of a sudden, they say follow the money. Man, they say follow the money. I should just name this follow the money. Hey, we need to go a little bit more down, man. Let's see what else is in here. Let's get to this part.
Opportunity to answer the question here. So, again, the majority of Somali Minnesotans are born in the United States, as I understand it.
Okay, well, what percentage of working age Somalians who have been in the U.S. for 10 years or more, how many of them speak English very well?
I don't know.
About half. The answer is about half.
More.
That seems pretty low, doesn't it?
They was born.
Again.
Your thoughts?
So you get an ignorant body of people that you're supposed to be helping. That gives you a very great opportunity to get into thievery yourself, embezzlement, misappropriation, outright theft. That's what you're getting all over the country. For several decades, child care has been an easy something to commit fraud with. We had problems here in Tennessee with it. And it developed that some of the main actors were prominent elected officials or appointed officials, and that's what you're going to find. There is...
Man, Man, his barbecue sauce is good, man. I was looking for him at the Tasty Soul, but 2 years ago, took a picture with him. Barbecue sauce. But man, it's like I'm looking at the sign. It's like I can taste it and smell it right now. Yeah, because one of them have this pineapple smell and aroma. Man, it's almost like I can burp. So Oh, excuse me. Oh well, yeah, man, yeah, because it was like you got some barbecue sauce. Oh man, let's get
No earthly reason for the
But
fun.
he's bringing up a very good point. Man, see, I'm not gonna say, man, you know what systematic racism is. Let me just come out with it, man. Certain programs they would really probe real hard. Now, people that share my complexions, the homeboys and homegirls, they don't even they got good programs and barely can get a visit. I know people that got programs and they want to audit. And sometimes they just can't get it, man. They don't even get an audit when they want it. The program is so damn clean and good. It's almost, man. Hey, but that's another story.
Involved to be just thrown away, except perhaps as to engender political favor. But even then, that still would not explain it because that's a total antithesis of the position of the Democratic Party when they talk about these funds should not be spent for the space program, they shouldn't be spent for defense, they shouldn't be spent for research and development, they need to be spent for poverty matters for the poor. And here you are using those channels to throw money away and allow people to thieve it. It just does not make good sense. And part of the reason it doesn't make good sense is, again, this needs to be understood. The Democratic Party represents an agenda. And the first statement on that agenda is, when are you guys going to come up with rules on how much hair a guy can have on his face and go piss in the girl's bathroom? See, that's the agenda that we're talking about. It's their business under the First Amendment. Get your freak on in your bedroom, that's your right. But when you start advocating this and you start taking the reins of government and attempting to impose a theological agenda on the rest of the country, it gets into being everybody's business, especially when so many get swept into office because they promise, I'm going to support this agenda of the rainbow. I don't have to say it out loud. You know that if you get me in the office, not me, but the individuals who are talking this, you'll get this, and this is only fair, and we're trying to be righteous, and nobody's supposed to be responsible because values, morality, ethics are supposed to be personal and private, and nobody outside of the individual's conscience is supposed to get involved in saying what's right or wrong. Well, that doesn't work because society is an intermingled group of people that are interdependent on each other.
See? And that is what is script from a lot of us. The interdependent that we have among each other, it's all discombobulated, just all rattled up. Go over there and check out Judge O'Brien on Dana's show. She be having some hellified content, and this is how you can find it. It's that was Nick Shirley. It's the real Dana right there. See? So hey, I just wanted to put a little bit of that stuff right up in here, and I'm gonna see. Could we get one of them little good old foodie stamps ones up here? Okay. Let's see what that's about. Let me type it in. Give me a second, man, but this is the type of stuff I was always talking about when I was like getting buzzed and loaded out there. It was like at the beginning, I was spending my food stamps on the correct things, and then they were. But imagine if I was spending and selling my food stamps. Imagine, man, it was stores, just a barrage of them everywhere. Just going out of hand, flipping them, and then, hey, my story is even worse than that. I can remember and then I would take the stamps from my family. See, we ain't hearing those are. So let's see what this one is going to be about. Fair use. Now, this is going to be the flip side. This will let you know I'm only just speculating on this next clip I'm going to show you on the movement in the ships that happen when they want to. Probably this next video may be things that the other ear and individual want people to hear. So let's see, fair use, because the title is Mastermind Behind the Minnesota Fraud Thing. And there's our girl.
Prosecutors say was a mastermind of Minnesota's biggest COVID-era fraud scheme. Her name is Amy Bach. She's 44 years old, and she is not part of the Somali community. Last year, she was convicted of orchestrating a $250 million plot to defraud government program to feed hungry kids. She spoke to CBS News Minnesota correspondent Jonah Kaplan, who joins us now. Jonah, good morning. We all want to.
It's like, how did they find this person? She's not a Somalian. See, so this dresses up the appearance. Don't look at those folks. Look at her. Let's listen to him. Okay? Let's get ready for it.
Hear what she has to say. Good morning to you.
Gail, good morning. As you mentioned, there's been so much focus on the Somali community here in Minnesota because of the widespread fraud. And most of the suspects charged and convicted in the schemes, they are from the Somali community. But as you mentioned, the mastermind, according to prosecutors, federal prosecutors, she is not Somali. And Amy Bach, when we spoke to her, it's rare for someone to speak with us in federal custody, but she expressed some regrets and defended her actions. We were allowed 1 hour to speak with Amy Bach over a video call from her Minnesota jail cell.
Now I can hear you, yes.
Until she was arrested in 2022, Bach led Feeding Our Future. The now infamous nonprofit signed up restaurants and caterers, many from Minnesota's large Somali community, to receive taxpayer money for providing meals to children in need.
During COVID, for obvious reasons, parents were allowed to come and pick up meals. So we suddenly were able to reach more children.
But prosecutors said it turned into something else, the nation's largest COVID-era fraud, with Bach as its mastermind.
Are you the mastermind of this scheme?
Absolutely not. I believe in accountability. If I had done this, I would have pled guilty. I would.
It's like, this shit is like you was in the middle of it. They found somebody that was not Somalian. And look, she must have did so much crime, but where's the tail? Her eyes look watery. The mastermind. Do she really look like a mastermind? Never know. Looks are deceiving. Let's hear the rest. Wow.
I wouldn't have gone to trial. I wouldn't have put my children and my family through what we've been through. I've lost everything.
While Bach's attorney provided this video showing stacks of food, prosecutors say Bach and the businesses she recruited stole tens of millions of federal dollars, spending it on luxury cars, real estate ventures.
Wow. Does that look like a mastermind? I don't. Spending it on all that stuff, golly.
And vacations.
I wish I could go back and do things differently, stop things, catch things. At that point in time, I believed we were doing everything in our power to protect the program.
But in 2021, Bach sued the state agency that oversaw the meal program, alleging its scrutiny of Somali applicants was, quote, discriminatory. How do you think state officials took that?
Nobody wants to be labeled as being racist.
Minnesota officials told a state watchdog the threat of legal consequences and negative media attention intimidated them into easing off.
The notion that a state government is paralyzed and has to allow this level of fraud because they were afraid of what I might do in a lawsuit is preposterous.
Help me welcome Amy Bach.
In Minnesota's large Somali community, one leader called her a modern-day Robin Hood.
The community deserves this. The children need this.
In 2019, the
So people, go over there and check out that CBS News hit. Man, that's what you're gonna. I'm trying to remember her name, but man, she is. She was worrying about her job and things. Man. So, you know, fair use, man. I'm going to wrap it up here because, man, that was something I wasn't expecting. It's a hit piece, but then it's showing some other things was jumping off, even during COVID. See, even though in the present time, we're talking about the fraud now, they will bounce it back. They didn't even say PP loan. Just straight up, some paperwork was handled efficiently, and here's the person that did this racism. You see, they want to put the race card right on there, and she was spending on luxury cars and this, that, and other. Hey, just write in the chat what y'all think what happened on this hit piece here, because it is really something.
Profit submitted $3 million worth of meal claims. 2 years later, it submitted nearly $200 million.
All of a sudden, you're cutting $200 million worth of checks. How do you not see that as major red flags and keep this going?
We relied on the state. We told the state, this site is...
See? She can't figure it out.
...is going to operate at this address, this day, this time, and this number of children. The state would then tell us that's approved.
Prosecutors also accused Bach of collecting bribes and kickbacks from meal site operators.
Ooh, so, you know, this is deep. This is a whole lot of stuff that, you know, hey, with DOJ and a lot of these people having triggered stuff, a lot of this we wouldn't even be seeing. That's all I'm saying. So, you know, hey, fair use. Thank y'all for showing up to the show. And your boy is out. Man, I am out. Man. I'm finna go and watch the rest of that video. Till then, I'm out. Peace.